The year of the snake in 2025 was a year of release, right? Of shedding the old skin, the old wounds, peeling it off, letting it die, letting some relationships die quietly, letting the energy, giving the energy its space to move. It was the year of the snake was a time to sit in the shadows, to sit in introspection, to sit in the cave. And I know a lot of you who have been doing this, and I did this perfectly. Well, I mean, there was nothing perfect about the year of the snake, because it was all coming up to the surface, and there's still a lot coming up to the surface. But jump to the year of the horse, which is right now, February 17, 2026 is the beginning of this. This is all about movement, momentum, change. It's all we're not hiding anymore. We're not hiding in our cave anymore. The fire horse. I mean, there's 5 elements in each of the animals. The fact that the fire comes with the horse, those are 2 very wild, if you can think about that, right? This is a movement energy. This is we're not sitting anymore energy. And if you think about it, this is not like waiting for permission or waiting for validation anymore or approval. This is just going for it. And if we look at the Western Zodiac, if you look at all the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, these 3 signs, there is no sitting around. Although I'm Leo, Sagittarius, there's no sitting around. And these are impulsive signs, spontaneous. They roar, or they travel, or they move into, they impulsively open businesses, or this is that kind of energy. In this year of the horse, the fixed signs, which is still Leo, by the way, which is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and I always forget this. Aquarius. Okay. These 4 signs are gonna be in full resistance mode, because they're fixed is like you're more grounded, right? So change is a little bit more challenging, just a little bit more challenging, a little bit more triggering, let's say, for the fixed signs. Water signs are going to have a ride of their life, let me tell you, right? Like, think about it. Fire, water puts out the fire for sure, but the fire is like going to force a lot of change in water signs. There's going to be a lot of emotional breakthroughs for the water sign. It's it's all done. It's all an evolutionary process in the end, right? So water signs would be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. So if you're a fixed sign, you're like everything. It's all good though. Don't let's not attach too much to these things. We're just having fun here, right? So before I get into talking more about the fire horse, I want to do the evolution arc so we understand this, right? So if we do like the year of the snake, and then we go into the year of the horse, and we could see how this evolution is going to happen. Right? So the year of the snake, like I said, it's like this release of trauma. A lot of people cut cords. A lot of people had silent realizations. We had like these moments where we were in our cave and we're like, I don't know how many times I did a moment in this past year. Sometimes I shared it with you, and sometimes most of the time I didn't. I just shared it with my phone so Big Brother could hear me. But otherwise, or I wrote it in a journal. It's just like this. The year of the snake felt to me like an emotional detox. right? Because we were more silent, the snake is silently slithers into the tall grass, right? he's not like I'm a lion, hear me roar kind of energy. Like us too, as soon as the energy emerges, we see it, we feel it, and then we shed it, right? We have to move through these energies. It's not like the snake came around and was like, oh, let's just shed. No, we went through it. In the grass and in the water and on the mountains, we went everywhere, right? We really went everywhere with these emotions. And a lot of us have not fully moved through these emotions, and that's okay, right? But the thing is, with the horse, the only thing with the horse is that if some of you avoided the shedding in 2025, the horse will drag you. That is the difference. Like the year of the snake gave you that year to, okay, let's just face these mirrors, just face these things and these energies, right? Sit where you can, go in the nature, go in wherever you want, but this has to come up. The horse the horse we know is a compassionate animal, of course, but the fire horse is all about speed. It's all about movement. So he's not sitting with you like the snake did. He's like, we're going, right? So this I'm going to talk about this a little later, because that could be there. It's here where you're going to see that there's going to be a little bit of resistance, and some of the animals here are going to have a harder time, right, moving through this year. But there's a lot of good too coming, right? So now we jump into the horse, the year of the horse, right? We've all done all what we needed to do with the snake, and now we move into the year of the horse. And this is like where the snake was more private and more secluded, the horse is more public, more recognition, more hello, I'm here kind of energy. So that's going to be to me, it's like a polarity, right there, because everything is in, and this is like, oh. So like a lot of bold decisions are going to be made this year, from you, from people around you, from other external forces, perhaps. You're going to feel a lot more this, and you're going to feel more what is it, like diving into, like taking risks. Like you're going to feel that momentum. You're going to be like, oh, you know what? Fuck it. I'm doing this kind of thing, energy, right? The horse is going to be like, yeah, let's do this. The horse is not going to let you go into your cocoon anymore. So with this fire horse being movement, right? Every time I think of a horse, I think of chariot energy as well. Like, okay, let's move, let's go. Like, what does moving mean? Moving home, moving to a new country, moving to a new city, changing where you are living right now, like changing things up, travel, relocation, exactly, all of that. Moving because your career, there's a career opportunity in another country. So you're like, okay, this is the year that once you bring it up to the surface, the fire horse energy is going to like push you. It's not going to make you question. So that's a kind of interesting year for a lot of us. And yeah, with that comes this need to, open new businesses, open new communities, open new centers, open this desire to share what you've been through, maybe creating a YouTube channel, like whatever it is, like, and the fire horse is going to, of course, encourage you. But the fire horse also brings impulsive choices, which is kind of a good thing, because I kind of like the idea of stop overthinking, right? Like just put you into spontaneity mode. Like yes. It's like a yes year. Let's do it. Okay. And the consequences we'll deal with after. So that's kind of a beautiful thing. This is not a quiet year. I'm not seeing, I don't see this as This is a very visible year. This is like a look at me year, or look at us year, or let's just, let's make these dreams come true kind of year, which is beautiful, but it could be tiring too. So let's go. I'm going to continue. I've written things down because, I am a tarot reader and not a Chinese astrologer. So the fire horse energy, the gifts of it. I'm going to talk gifts and wild cards. Gifts are, the amazing things the gifts that it's bringing this year. And the wild cards are like the reverse of tarot, let's say, right? So the gifts this year is going to bring magnetism, charisma. You're gonna start to feel a little bit more like like outgoing. You're going to feel like maybe, like if I just related to myself, last year I was indoors, people. I had no desire to go outside. Even in the summertime, I had no desire to mingle with people. I had no desire. And so perhaps this year is the total polar opposite. It's going to be like party time or whatever it is, right? It's just the energy. Anyways, you don't have to follow and abide by the energy. It's just you're going to feel it around you in your life. There's obviously with that comes confidence, right? And there's going to be a lot of creative breakthroughs, a lot of relationship breakthroughs. Like breakthrough feels like every time I see a fire, I just picture the fire horse in my head. I picture a black stallion with fire on his mane, running through the fields or a desert. That's how I can imagine it. So yeah, and there's and I don't see him stopping for the whole year. So he's gonna probably travel the whole world, because I don't see maybe stopping to drink water and boom, out again. That's the year. We're getting ready to lift off. And the thing is that there's no stopping. That's the thing. So it's kind of for someone who leads a very quiet life, who's very reserved, might see this fire horse as danger, like this. Oh my God, no. But it's not gonna, ultimately you're the human, you're the avatar in this movie, and you choose your way, right? So the thing with this fire horse feels like career leaps, if you've been working or school, recognition at school or recognition of the job you've been doing, all the hard work you've been putting in YouTube, it's going to be recognized, things are going to you're going to feel, I was going to say feel at ease, but you're going to be put in the spotlight, perhaps some of you. That's the momentum. That's momentum. If you're artists, maybe you're actors, or you're going to win awards, or musicians, there's this kind of energy showing up here for the fire horse. There's obviously physical vitality, makes a lot of sense here because the horse is a physical animal. Very muscular, so there's a lot of that energy showing up that perhaps there's going to be more people running alongside the horse, and the horse will be running with you, whatever that is, what else is there? Less sedentary weight kind of energy, more active, walking, running, whatever, doing things, I can't even think of cycling, active. And with fire always comes sensuality, right? So that is going to be opening up the chemistry, the sensual chemistry coming up, romantic, but more sensuality, which is beautiful because the snake revived the sensuality, right? It's like the kundalini was awakening that was the purpose of the snake. It was awakening your sensuality, your confidence, your love of body, your love of self. And the horse is okay, now you got that, let's go. Let's go show yourself to the world. And regardless of what you think of yourself or how you perceive yourself or whatever, it's just this your magnetism is on a high. I mean, freaking awesome, amazing. And then freedom. I mean, for me, I just equate horse with freedom. So whatever that means for you, right? For me, freedom to, speak, freedom to be me, freedom to be transparent, freedom to, whatever that is for you, that is what that is. And it's amazing to me. Now the wild card of the horse energy. Of course, there's always like a polarity, right? The wild card is that you might be too overconfident, right? You might, ego comes up a lot with the horse, right? When you are too passionate and too powerful kind of thing, your ego is like, yeah, baby, let's do this. And there could be a lot of ego clashes. And that could be challenging if you think about it in this world setting. So where the fire horse is encouraging us to do, be, like rise up, like, awaken, rise up against or whatever, or for, or whatever it is. There's also that ego, elitist, let's say ego, like coming in and saying, oh, feeling threatened. So that could be an interesting blow up this year. I can't wait to see that. Anyways, with this impulsivity comes like also burnouts. You're burning your bridges too fast. You're hitting a wall. That could happen too, because you're like, move, and then people get addicted to movement, right? But at one point, the universe is like, yo, you gotta, like, that's why we have to find a balance here. And the restlessness, 100,000%. Oh, wow, this is a big one for me. So conflict from brutal honesty. So, because the more your movement, momentum you have, it's harder to stop. So, I'll talk about this in an ego. I'm going to do an ego video soon. You can watch that. So, starting too much, finishing too little. Yeah. So that, again, if you're in a momentum, you're starting this, starting that, doing this, and moving here, going everywhere. And then after, you're not doing anything, right? So this is just something we have to be careful of. Just be, we're all adults here. We have to just be very aware of like the choices we make. Like in the horse reading, I talk about choosing a lane and then staying in that lane and running with that lane. So, which is horse energy, right? It's the same idea. If we choose 10 lanes and we run, we'll never make it, right? We'll just tire ourselves out. And there's emotional volatility, which makes sense in fire, because again, fire, if you think Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, they are like, they're the starters and they're like so excited. Like if you think about, so excited to start a project, to share their dreams or go do this, go travel. And then they get tired at one point and they're like, oh, because they put so much energy in that beginning, right? So think about that a little. So, we're not here to, we don't want to, like, how can I say this? We don't want to like exterminate the fire, we don't want to tame it. We need to just learn to ride it. That's the key here. So, like fire, the fire horse is not, it's not seeking validation. You're moving into an energy that is pushing you to your next step, to your next project, to your next relationship. And there's no slowing down. So just learn how to slow down in this as well, because you don't always have to follow his blazing trail all the time. It's for me, I feel like it's what I'm getting out of this: run to what scares you the most, right? Like, let's just go for it. There's no place to hide in the year of the horse. fire horse. It's time to leap. It's time to jump. It's time to go. So I'm going to pull a overall energy just to get, you know, the feeling. I've already talked to you a little bit about it, but let's just pull what tarot has to provide for us here. Wow, that's a nice card to get. The Four of Wands. Aries energy. Hilarious. The Four of Wands is celebration, victory, marriage, you know, enjoying life. The foundation is already set, and now it's time to live a little, right? It's kind of the same idea. It's time to stop trying so hard to establish a career, to get a husband or wife or girlfriend or boyfriend. We're always trying. Like, enough. The Four of Wands, like, okay, if it's gonna come, it's gonna come. Trust that. You've already established, the pillars are already set in place. The Four of Wands, enjoying life. So celebrating the little wins as much as the big wins. That's nice. Me gusta. Like that. And at the bottom of the deck is the Nine of Swords, which is you in that year of the snake saying, oh my God, no, but I have so much to deal with. I don't know, maybe it's not the right time. Maybe I'm not going to listen to the year of the horse. I don't want to do anything else. And this is that. And the Four of Wands, like, absolutely not, dudes. Like, what are you doing? We're here. We're ready. We're ready to fly. We're here. We're galloping. You know, we're not trotting. We're not like standing. We're going. Are you coming? That's the reading. All right. So in the next part is your animal. We'll get it in there. We'll get into that, obviously. And yeah, so I'm enjoying this momentum. This is like amazing. Don't fear the momentum. You know, just run with it. It's a time to jump in the fire and not fear the burning flames. Instead of seeing it, just see it as a new opportunity, right? Like, or see like as, I mean, I've taught you. It's not that I'm teaching you anything, but in past videos we've done like rejection and feeling like being okay with being the villain of a story, and all of that gets you ready for this step. You know, gets you ready for, okay, yeah. You know, so what? You know, the snake got you ready, got you strong enough and got you grounded enough to get ready for this movement. So, are you ready? Check out your animal signs. And also, if you're new here, my name is Sabrina, by the way, and I do tarot readings. You can book sessions with me, and you also can just watch my videos, encourage me, like, comment, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. And that's it. I also have Zodiac notebooks on Amazon that are fun and snarky like me. So I love you, and I'll see you in your animals. Bye. If you're a rooster in this year of the fire horse, you are going to be recognized. But if you continuously criticize your everything that you do, you may ruin your momentum. So what's important here is to refine what matters and then release the rest. Welcome, my beautiful roosters, and welcome, my beautiful warriors of love. My name is Sabrina, and welcome to this reading. We're going to explore this animal in love, career, and health, and purpose. And I am not a Chinese zodiac expert. I am a tarot reader and a Akashic Records reader. And I'm just having fun here. I'm also wrote down a whole bunch of stuff, so I'll be like referring to my notes as we move through this. All right, let's begin. Rooster. I am a self-proclaimed rooster. I am an earth rooster. So, and a Taurus. So very interesting. But this is about you, roosters, not about me. This is a card I made because we're stars. So let's begin. Roosters are known to be perfectionists, and roosters are very interesting. I mean, I know a little bit about rooster because it's my sign, it's my animal, but very perfectionist, very high standards, very analytical, which is not what I am, but very precise. You know, very rooster, very outspoken, but on the flip side of it, they're self-criticism like on a high, judging themselves like no tomorrow. Right? They're very self-critical, which I can attest to, because if you're a perfectionist, then you obviously can never find like you can never be perfect, right? So you will always be critical of yourself, and that makes a lot of sense. So coming into this fire horse year, your perfectionism is going to get amplified to the nth degree. Is it a great thing? I don't know if it's such a great thing, because again, seeking of perfectionism is because you're always seeking something greater than you, and instead of accepting who you are. Now, the interesting here card that I'm looking at is the overall energy for Rooster is the Devil, which is a Capricorn energy, which I will tell you also that I also looked up at the associations of the Western Zodiac to the Chinese Zodiac. These are not accurate associations, but they're the ones that are similar in characteristic, and the Rooster is similar to the Virgo and the Capricorn. Okay. And this is Capricorn, so I find that's interesting that's showing up. So the Devil, as we know, everyone looks at him, the Devil, and he is... I think he's, he's the Capricorn. He's the goat. Yeah. The Devil is attachments, manipulation. It's like OCD, you know. It's like, temptation, lust, narcissism. You can go on and on about the Devil, right? The Devil is the polarity of the angel, let's say, right? So it's anger, it's frustration, it's all the lower vibrational energies. But for me, I've fallen in love with the tower, the Devil, all of these like low vibration cards, because perhaps they're my mirrors right now, because I'm breaking through them, right? That they're the chaos that are bringing to my life. So I almost feel like this is the chaos that is being brought to Rooster. And it's like the Rooster is having to face the Devil as the mirror. And it's beautiful, because this is the breakdown moment, right? This is the moment where like the momentum of the fire horse coming in with the Rooster saying, okay, like face your ugly. Face the things that have been triggering you. Why are you always criticizing yourself? Why are you always constantly, why do you need to get your point across, Rooster? Like, why do you need to always defend yourself, defend your opinions? Like, maybe you need to scale back here, right? And the Devil is going to trigger you. And I am all about triggering, because that is where clarity comes from. Clarity comes from when I'm triggered, when I'm feeling all the feels. So it's a really beautiful. And if you're always so precise about life, we can't live like that. We can't be precise in this world. It's full. It's all energy. We live in the linear world, but the linearity of this world is crumbling and collapsing. So the Rooster may feel a little bit off kilter, right? With the fire horse, pushing it to expand itself, to open its mind. That's when the perfectionist kicks in and says, "Oh, I almost feel like the Rooster fighting the fire horse in a big way this year." So that's this is going to be an interesting year, and this one also talks about self-sabotage a lot, which is a big thing for Rooster, because you tend to self-sabotage. If you're always like seeking gold, seeking platinum, and you get silver, you're going to judge yourself for the silver, right? I'm talking Olympic talk because it's Olympic now. So, like, you know, and it's that kind of, that could be admirable for people who are like goal getters and go-getters, but in the big picture, it's like very limiting and very narrow to be always like this. So it's interesting, and I kind of like that the devil is showing up, because it's like it's here to help us release all this ideations that we have in our mind of how we should be, and how how the world should be, and how everyone else should talk to us, and how like that is coming up for me a lot. And the devil is like self-explanatory for me anyways. And it's a very interesting, like I just looked it up now right before. The devil doesn't destroy, it exposes the chains. And I'm like 100,000%, right? The devil is not here to destroy you. It's just to expose your vulnerability, expose your weakness, expose your imperfection, and get you okay with it. To me, I'm like, yes, Sabrina, how many times can you say that you're in love with it? I am in love with it. And the fire horse then burns them down, these imperfections. You know, and it burns down your perfectionism and your imperfections, and to just keep you at a neutral state of being. You know, what's wrong with being, what's wrong with just being at this point in time? Why do you need to, I bring this up because I was going to bring this up somewhere in this conversation, but recently I found myself back online again because of a band that I'm following, and I'm in the fandom, let's say, and I'm like reading all these things, and I feel this need to explain to people about life, and I feel this need to do this, but it's just my ego. Right? It's the Rooster that needs to explain itself. And when I got to Rooster, and I said, oh my God, I have to share this experience, because this is exactly it. This is like me 30 years ago or 20 years ago. I used to do the same thing. I used to like explain to people, and it's like, who cares? Like, why am I wasting my energy? But that's the devil that's showing up in me. That's the ego. The ego wants to be right. The ego wants to like get validation from a stranger. And I like 8 times out of 10, I write comments on social and I just delete it. And it's like, in those 2 out of 10 times, I get really annoyed by myself. Right? Like, I sit there and I'm like, okay, but I could have been better. I should go and edit it. The perfectionism part of this. I should edit it and make it more intelligent or more whatever. But it's just silly. No reason. We don't need, I mean, if one of these comments say this is beautiful, it's fine. But if you're making a comment on, like trying to explain someone or something that you don't even know about, like, it's just so silly. And I just call myself, and that's very Rooster of me. Right? The Rooster has to like tick, 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 peck, 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 peck. And I can be honest enough and vulnerable enough to share this with you, because that's the devil part of me. Like, that's the mirror that I'm facing. It's like, yeah, I gotta face it, like, and own up to it. Like, it's like dumb, Sabrina, right? Like, I'm not saying that I'm dumb. I'm just saying it's just silly. It's ego. And Rooster does fall into ego a lot. Because like, perfectionism is to me is not a great thing. You know, like, you're seeking what exactly? You're seeking perfectionism and what? We're not perfect human beings. You know, we're perfect souls, but we're in avatars. They're not far from perfect. And it's to accept all the imperfections of life. So that's it's interesting. That's a lot of us, we're finding ourselves in these animal signs, or in these zodiac signs, where we're evolving from them. So, beautiful Rooster, let's put you here. We're doing love, but we're going to do the couple because I feel like it. My vampire, my Vampire. It's my geisha girl. Love, no? Yes. Let's do this. So honest communication required this year. Well, obviously, if the fire horse is spontaneous, impulsive, and the rooster is calculated about the words that are coming out and has to make sure that everything is like makes sense, da 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 da, and ego and not like, well, fire horse is ego as well, but it's like unfiltered one, right? Think about it. So they kind of work together in a sense, because we're both working in that kind of state. But what the fire horse will be highlighting this year is that self-criticism within the rooster. And that's a big thing, because being hypercritical about yourself, being hypercritical about someone else is one thing, but about yourself, you're like the mirror. Like you're the one here leading the way and teaching. And if you're hypercritical about yourself, that's a lot to carry, right? And if in love, if you're partnered and you're hyper critical, that could create a lot of tension within your partnerships. If you start, because when you're hypercritical, then you are hypercritical of others. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is. And then you start to nitpick on others, like, oh, they didn't see, like, this is like a rooster thing. This makes sense that it would be Virgo energy. Very details, like I did this for them, but they did not do this for me. And like, OMG, it's the big end all of all. Right? So the fire horse is saying, like, get let go. And also the people in front of you, the partners in front of you are not you. So work on yourself first. It's like if you soften yourself a little bit, if you are able to step back, you're actually allowing intimacy to grow within your relationship. But if you continuously like critical of everyone around you, no one wants to be hang around with you. Like, that's clear as day, right? Because even if you don't talk to the person, if you're just critical by yourself, trust me, that energy shows in relationships. So, love for my beautiful... I don't want to see what this is. My beautiful Taurians. Taurus. No, roosters. Sorry. Oh, good. Thank God. Oh, you want to show me? No? Okay. It was the Three of Swords, but it's a no. Okay, if you're single in love, you may reject people too quickly. Sounds familiar. No one will meet every standard immediately. Totally. Ooh, are you choosing people who mirror your standards or your wounds? I mean, this is a big, I'm going to do let's talk about that. That's crazy. Because obviously a lot of us end up in relationships, friendships, whatever, because they mirror our deepest wounds, our traumas, our things, and we're put together so that we can work through them. And that's where people don't really get. They're like, why did I date this person? What the hell am I thinking, right? I mean, I have so many of those stories for you, but I won't bring them up today. But when I think about it in hindsight, I'm like, okay, I brought them up because they needed to show me my deep wound. I needed to work through it through them, right? So that's showing up for us too, which is very interesting. And that's like that you can ask that question with everyone in your life. Like whenever you're feeling low, whenever you're feeling not at your best, you can always say, oh, is this a mirror that's like presenting an old wound of mine? Wow. That's really good. The lesson obviously is to allow imperfection, and to really pay attention to this criticism of ours. And the card that showed up for us is a Taurus energy. That's why I said Taurus. So it was 6 of Pentacles. And now you look at that and you're like, in love, it should be the lover's card. But the Six of Pentacles is reciprocity energy, the law of reciprocity. It's I give, I take, right? So the same way as you, like, you want your partner to admire you, because you do, because you're a rooster. You want them to like adore you and love you and take care of you. Then the same goes for the opposite, right? If the partner on the other side is criticizing because you didn't give me enough, because you didn't love me enough, because you don't admire me enough, you don't, then the other side is like, yo, right? This is the thing. So if there's an equal, I'm not blaming the rooster all the time, by the way. There's an equal reciprocity. If you're dating someone that's never ever fucking loving you and caring for you, then obviously you've chosen a wound. You've chosen a wound of abandonment. You've chosen someone who hasn't loved you in your life, and this is what's representing here, right? And the MO for a rooster is to go towards their perfectionist ways and to go towards, oh, he needs to be or she needs to be perfect, right? Because you're seeking perfectionism and someone else as well, but you're not perfect. So how can you know? It's like a whole like give and take kind of thing. And I think this is a really beautiful card that showed up. It's exactly that. It's like what you give, you will receive, and allow that to be enough. Encouragement builds loyalty. Yes, I agree. I love it. Yeah, I mean, this all comes down to I love myself, I can love you, you know? I love myself, you love me. Like, you love me to the extent that I love myself, right? That's the thing, is that there is a energy doesn't lie. So in our relationships, in our friendships, and in our family, there's that equal investment. And so that's a big lesson for us. And Fire Horse is like gonna push this into our faces. So let's get ready for that. Let's get ready for imperfection. So the next thing I want to talk about is career and finances, and also studies for those of you who are in school. So this, like we said at the beginning, is recognition year. So the recognition is going to come with your career, right? Your people are going to notice you, you know, for all the good things about you, because you're so precise, because you are so resourceful, because you are, you know, you work hard, you're hardworking, and maybe because you're allowed to, but but again, your perfectionist comes in and can install this recognition. Because you want more and more and more and more, you're not really happy with what you're getting. So enjoy the recognition that comes in. If it's like for the smallest little task, then say, okay, great, thank you, and celebrate like a good rooster that you are. Go out there and celebrate. Right? I feel like this is coming at, like, I'm feeling a lot of financial stability coming in for you guys. I feel like, you know, if you focus on high value work, but I think about roosters, I think that they put in a lot of hard work. 100%. That's why they're such perfectionists, right? But we need to find the fine line here, of course. Exactly. Stop nitpicking the small losses. Exactly. That this is a big thing on the rooster. Like, oh, here you win $100,000, but I could have won the million. Are you for real, rooster? Like do that. Like, change that mindset a little bit. Obsessing over details, 1,000%. So I feel like what's going on here, this is love. So we're putting this away. A career. Yes. Oh, wow. Look at the card that showed up. Ace of Pentacles. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. A lot of Earth signs showing up here. Virgo, Ace of Pentacles, telling us that you're going to move into money, you know, promotions, big bonuses, big severance check. Maybe you're going to get fired with a big severance check, and it's like, oh, awesome. There's some money coming in, unexpected wins, unexpected gains coming in. Money that maybe is not even from the career. Money's coming in from something else. There's this feeling here of building anew. Some of you, if you have been thinking about opening a business or starting a consulting firm or doing something on your own, it's a yes. This is a great feeling here, especially with the devil next to it. It feels really good. This is propelling you into this major breakthrough. The fire horse is here for momentum for you. So it just feels like it's a year of launching you into this validation, this recognition of all this hard work, but try not to downplay it, right? Accept what comes to you and love everything about it. Because the moment that you do, this is very interesting, and this is like something that can help you as you move through this. Because every time you are grateful for the littlest thing, it's the law of manifestation. You then manifest that into something bigger. But if the little thing comes to you, oh, I only found $5 on the floor, who cares, or you walk over the $5, or you give it away, or it's like, instead of appreciating that $5, thank you so much for this $5, I will use it to whatever. This is the energy. This is how energy works. And it's like, oh, okay, she's grateful for it. We're going to tenfold it. You know what I'm saying? And then we're going to continue this. And it continues for the rest of your life. The moment, and the reason that we are always in these money issues is because the moment we're saying, ugh, I don't have enough, or ugh, I want more, or I can't make enough. I'm like, I have a shitty, all this la la la. The universe is like, okay, she doesn't believe, or he doesn't believe. Boom, let's go back to zero. Right? And then let's build it up again. And the Ace of Pentacles, and that's a devil saying that. Oh yeah, you don't really appreciate it? This is what you're getting. You don't appreciate it? Let's get you back to zero again. But all this to say, I feel like the fire and horse is going to propel you to greatness, to recognition, to reward. So enjoy these and try not to sabotage yourself on the way to even greater reward. When it comes, if someone here is in school, there's what's showing up is that, maybe there's a grant's going to be offered to you. Maybe they're going to say you could study abroad, for free, because we're missing researchers. There's that kind of energy showing up. Or maybe you're going to, find yourself in a windfall where they're going to pay off all your loans and bursaries. There's so many things that can happen, but they can only happen if you are open and you're not harshly criticizing yourself every step of the way. All right, Rooster? All right, Rooster. I love you because I am you, but I love you. Seriously. Let's put this aside. Let's bring back the star over here. And as far as health goes, stress from cortisol, control issues. We have cortisol. Stress from control, of course. Because if you're a perfectionist, you're a control freak. Relax your standards, not your ambition. Okay. For me, if I would think of roosters, first of all, roosters, cock-a-doodle-doo, right? So they use their voice a lot. And in using our voice a lot, there could be throat issues as well that you have to deal with. But if you're a control freak, whether it be with your children or whether it be with yourself, you definitely need to find a way to de-stress, right? You definitely need to find a way to whether it's massages, whether it's listening to music, and whether it's quiet. I feel like a quiet time for you. A place where there's not a lot of mirrors, so you don't have to be freaking criticizing your body as you're doing something. Yes, listen to me. Exactly. A place that there's dark. So You're just you with you. You know, roosters are not like overthinkers like some other animals, but if you can be stimulated in a calm way, you can actually lower. You can regulate your nervous system 100,000%. So that's really interesting. I don't pull cards for health, so let's get into the elements, the 5 elements that are associated in the Chinese zodiac. So the fire, if you're a fire rooster in this fire horse year, ego management is required. I mean, that would make so much sense, because as a perfectionist, like I said, we are all ego. Ego seeks perfection. The heart does not seek perfection, right? So if you're a fire rooster with a fire horse, you're like ego, like, let's go, right? So beware of that. Beware when that ego settles in or kicks in, which it is always kicking in. Try to find a way to tame it. I mean, there's many ways to do it. I do it by like visualizing a black hole, throwing my ego in the black hole and shutting a door and saying, you're not welcome here right now, right? It's all visual work, but you can do whatever you want, however you want to manage it, but just be aware that you're going to be on fire this year. And it's going to be this seeking of perfectionism, which means seeking of approval and seeking of constant validation, and is not healthy, right? Because you should be happy with just who you are, and or just continue working with who you are. So enjoy it. And Earth Rooster, steady success. Woohoo! Right. So, you know, Earth Rooster, continue the path of, but still try not to criticize. That's a big one. Metal Rooster, high standards intensify. Oh, okay. Metal roosters are very, really hard on themselves. So watch out for that, especially the fire horse coming in will amplify this high standards that we have for others. So pay attention to that, you know, like notice it when it comes into your life, you know, if like if with a partner or friend or anyone, and it's like, oh, high standard kicking in, shut the ego down, you know, like, you know, this is not you know, this is not a me thing. This is maybe just a mirror in front of me. You know, like there's a lot of ways to overcome this. Water Rooster, emotional awareness improves relationships. Okay. I mean, that's like for everybody, right? Emotional awareness improves every relationship. Of course, you know, like express yourself, let yourself go. You know, within your nitpicking, you know, try to be aware of your partner. And also like the whole mirror thing that I said before. Wood Rooster, creative refinement. Okay, wood is all about creative energy, so that would make sense. This year is about refining, taking out the egoic clutter and just going back to simplicity, kind of simplifying our lives. You know, taking away all the criticism, the judgment, and the perfectionism and all that shit, and going back to the 0 point kind of energy. So by being creative, that's really beautiful way to do it. You know, or else you can also just dump all that shit in your creativity and let that release there. That could be a way as well. So, as one way that is rising up within us in this 2026 is professional refinement, which is beautiful, right? So a lot of us who have worked really hard in our lives, which a lot of us do, roosters, I do believe, they put excessive amount of work because we want to be perfect, and your professional lives are going to get a little bit more clear, in the sense that the lanes will narrow itself in a good way, because perhaps in perfecting our dreams, we bring in a lot. so that every point of the star is covered, kind of thing. But at this moment in time, it's like your role, your jobs, your careers are going to get more simplified, in the sense, okay, you're the CEO, right? Like really simple. Here's a $300,000 raise. Here is like, things are going to get a bit clearer, which is really beautiful. And just be careful. Obviously, criticism, perfect what matters, ignore the rest. Yeah, okay. Perfection is not the goal, progress is. Totally, I agree. So I'm going to give a last card for the beautiful I keep calling you Taurus, I'm really sorry, for the roosters. The thread, the red thread. I'm going to read this. I need to read this. What is it? It's a 60 LXXX. I think it's a 60, but whatever. Okay, the thread. Life is a tangle. So much happens simultaneously and circuitously. Okay. Leaving us grappling for meaning and direction in a network of distractions. When we connect to the energy of the thread, however, we strike the deepest vein in the body. Our whole being responds to its tug. Meaning is pumped through our bloodstream. Our mind and spirits are lifted. We remember who we are and what we came into this world to do. Though this happens on the most profound level, it could be the simplest incident that activates the thread. A song, an image, a conversation heard in passing. No matter how confusing and multi-layered our modern lives become, if we are connected to the thread, we are free. Being tethered to it is the only anchor our heart requires. I mean, that's really beautiful. I mean, the thread is this notion of not being perfect, right? The thread, if you think about the thread, it's like it sews and binds clothes together. But sometimes it unbinds itself, right? And doesn't mean that it's not perfect still. But we see it, the rooster will see, it's imperfect. I failed at this. I lost at this. I didn't, this relationship sucked the big banana, right? And we take it on upon ourselves. The roosters take it upon themselves to say, oh, it's my fault. This is what I am. But the thread is just like a thread to me. It's like the higher wisdom, right? The higher self. It's like saying, okay, it's no big deal, right? To me, the thread represents like the whole essence of this journey. It's the life path, it's the meaning within the chaos kind of thing. If you look at it, it's like a very chaotic night, dark, and it's this beautiful red thread. And it's the light in the darkness kind of energy. And if it's showing up for Rooster, I almost feel like we're overlooking this a little bit. The roosters are overlooking this a little bit because we're seeking that which we are not and will never be. Like this desire for perfectionism is a very egoic thing. We are not perfect. And that's why we chose to be humans in this life experience. We chose to live in imperfection. We chose to fail and be rejected and be traumatized and be terrorized and we chose these things to learn the experience of it, because we are these pure souls that have come to this earth. So it's almost like showing up here, this thread. It's like following us throughout our lifetime, It's like the thread of timelines as well, of lifelines kind of showing up and saying, okay, can you be okay if we like rip apart this quilt or this piece of fabric? Can you be okay with this, Rooster? And see it as, so we can just recreate something new. That's what's showing up here. I kind of like this thread. I'm gonna ponder over tonight on this one, but I love it. Anyways, this is a reading for 2026. We're going to be facing a lot of mirrors that are self-induced mirrors more than anything. It's not. I don't think it's people. I think it's us, and how the rooster is going to have to face off with themselves. You know. Within the relationships, you know, with everything that's showing up. And for me, as a rooster, I'm ecstatic because I want to be pushed and triggered, because that's the only way I can clear. You know, and I'm assuming most roosters are like me because we have that attitude. Roosters have attitude, right? Roosters are like walk around the coop and they're like, yo, I'm the fucking boss, right? And I'm gonna cock-a-doodle-doo whenever the frick I want to. That's that. Having that attitude and having that energy is wild with a fire horse. Can you? I could imagine the rooster going up to the fire horse and saying, "F you." Right? Like, even though it's like tiny and this big ass massive stallion is looking at him, you know, and scaring the shit out of the horse, by the way, with the attitude. So I kind of love that about it. Obviously, that's the chaotic nature I have. Is like I love the rooster in me, but I also realize that there are these. There's a lot of self-sabotage that is included with this, and it's not pretty, and we need to move through this, and the thread is kind of helping us through this, right? To poke holes into new fabrics, into new paths. All right, this is where I leave you, and this was fun. I love you. I'll see you in another animal if you wish. You know, you can go see for everybody else in your life. Also, because there's associations with the signs, so that could be fun for you if it was. So I should write it somewhere maybe. And book a session with me if you feel called to go deeper and explore your journey of 2026 or whatever other dilemmas are going through you're going through. I'm here for you. Check out my sessions. They're all down below. I love you, and I'll see you soon.